to do an AMA with us about her career. So type a 1 in the chat if you did the pre-work. On the quick write, you saw, we'll talk about it, Brendan. You saw the description about what she does and you came up with your questions. I mean, I kind of already know who did this. Some people didn't see the AMA part though. They just ignored that part. I see 3 people. Okay, so can somebody else help Brendan out with what an AMA is? By the way, we like to use the chat. I don't know if you can see the chat from your...
Well, I've been seeing it.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Maybe, no.
Okay, Colin is helping us out, and so is Georgia. AMA stands for Ask Me Anything, where we ask people anything. Yes, however, in this case, right, we're trying to make this about career and college. Of course, you can ask her other questions, right? Like, do you have time to do the stuff you like? Do you have hobbies? Whatever, right? But of course, she can always just say, you know what, I'm not going to answer that question. We've had people ask about salary and stuff. So, you know, you don't have to answer anything. Just like you guys don't have to answer quick write questions, right? Sometimes you say, I don't want to answer that. And I say, that's fine. So it's usually about their job. Thank you, Bella. That is true. So we're going to have people populate some questions into the chat for you. Teeneke, would you like to maybe tell us a little bit about what you do, just for those of us who didn't do our pre-work?
Sure. So I'm a cosmetic formulator. So what that means is I make hair and skincare products. So pretty much if it goes on your hair or skin, I make it. So everything from, gosh, deodorant to facial care to serums to shampoo and conditioner to all kinds of weird stuff. Like I also have made like I'm sure you've all heard of poopery. I had somebody make that for them. It was very weird, but anyway, so I do odd projects too, but mostly hair and skincare. So yeah, I work for a manufacturer right here in Northwest Portland. We do natural and organic as our focus, and we manufacture for other companies. So you see a brand in a store, they don't necessarily make their product. They have somebody like us make it for them. So they put their name on it, but we make it. So you won't see us anywhere, but we're everywhere.
Okay, we've already got Bella asking a question.
Oh my gosh, Bella, yes, I exclusively use products I create, and my friends get the benefits of those products as well. So yes, absolutely. I am constantly creating new and interesting skincare. My bathroom has probably about 7 different facial oils lined up on my counter, and I have shelves in my shower. Just, yeah, my husband calls it goo hoarding, but yes, I use all of the products I make exclusively.
I use them too. They're really nice. So let's get some other questions in the chat. So if you already came up with questions, right? I saw some really good ones for people who did the pre-work. See if you can remember what those were. Go check, maybe populate those into the chat. If you didn't do the pre-work, see if you can think of a question to ask based on what she just explained about her job.
Just say goo hoarding. Shout out to
Oh man. Okay, I see a question from Colin. What's the most ambitious thing you have ever tried to make?
Oh, that's a really good question. Actually, I'm working on a project right now that is just proving to be very challenging. I'm trying to make a shampoo bar for babies, and the customer has requested that everything, all of the ingredients rate a 1 or lower on this website called EWG. So I have to check this website, and they want the cost of this, they want to sell this shampoo bar for $5 a bar. So it's challenging to make the shampoo bar and make it within those parameters. So far at this point, I've only been able to make kind of a gooey, gelatin-like bar. It'll hold its shape, but I can't I can't make it solid. So that's proving to be very challenging. The second I would say is probably, and I brought an example, hopefully you guys can see this. It's kind of, it looks kind of like whipped cream, or like, yeah, like frosting, like buttercream frosting, and it's actually soap. So it's kind of a cool, just fun thing that I made. And yeah, anyways, I hope that answers the question. Yeah.
Alexis has a great question. Did you have to
Mhm.
go to school?
So yes and no. I could not fly to London to go to the school that I wanted to go to. So I went online, much like you guys are doing. And I earned my diploma online.
Is that like in a certain topic? Is it like
Oh
what?
yes, in specifically in organic hair and skincare formulation. So
Oh,
yeah, so basically I had to create a bunch of projects and submit my results to them, and they graded me. So yeah, long distance, very long distance learning.
how many years did that take?
I did the program in 1 year. They give you 3. I did it in 1 because I love it. Try to stop me from making stuff.
Georgia says, is it harder to sell and market natural skincare than the more standard chemical-filled skincare?
Um, I don't know the answer to that. I can tell you that at this point we have to turn customers away. We have more business than we can handle. Our company's grown in the last 6 years from 20 people to 70. So the market is growing like crazy.
And I don't know if anyone's going to ask this question, but one of the things that interests me, everyone knows that I'm really into science since I teach science. But what is the hardest part about making natural skincare versus just being able to use any chemical that you want?
Oh, that's an easy one. Being able to create the same product consistently every time. When you're using ingredients from nature, you have things like crop fluctuations and differences in the chemical constituents of a plant vary even from one region to the next. So if we get for instance, if we buy French lavender essential oil and we can't get that anymore and suddenly we have to use Spanish lavender essential oil, it smells completely different. So being able to consistently make the same product for the customer can sometimes be really challenging using natural ingredients. I'm sorry, I didn't get a chance to read that whole question.
It said, does your income fluctuate with beauty and skincare trends?
No, my income is based on a specific wage. I would like to think that it's going to go up significantly as the natural industry grows, but I don't know how realistic that is. Certainly, our salespeople, their income would fluctuate because they're based on commission, so it's based on what they can sell. I hope that answers it. It would if I was retailing. If I was selling my own product, I'm sure my income would vary. So.
Let's see if we can get some other questions in here. I know somebody put one in their pre-work about the environment.
Oh.
Whatever that was. Put
Sure.
your question out.
Well, I can talk about that anyways. I'm not.
Yeah, you can talk about it anyway. But somebody had asked, what is the impact of your work on the environment, essentially?
Yeah, so that's a really good question. I mean, that can be measured in a few ways. I can tell you we have one of the largest solar arrays in Portland. Our building is almost entirely run on solar power. We definitely choose green options when we can. As far as what we do in the building, we have our solar power, we have a recycling program. We try not to waste. If we do have waste, for a while, it was kind of fun. We were able, when we were a smaller company, to simply give our products that were expired or that we would normally have to send to a landfill. We were selling them to a farmer who was feeding them to his pigs, because pretty much everything we make is edible, but don't eat it. Gosh, I can't even believe I'm saying that. But but the pigs were fine with it. We decided we couldn't really do that option anymore because we couldn't run the risk of our products ending up on the side of the road or something. So we recycle those as much as we can. When we buy ingredients, we look for sustainability as one of the key things that we look for. Can this product be sustainable long term? Is it grown in a green way? Are the communities that are growing this ingredient that we're using, are they benefiting? So we have a lot of factors that we look at, and then we always try to make things that are readily biodegradable. So we don't necessarily test that standard, but that's what we strive for. So we do our best to be friendly to the environment. On the other side of that, we ship around the world. So if you consider, you know, things going around the world and the carbon footprint, we do try to offset that. So we use carbon offset shipping when we can. We're very conscious of that. So it's nice to work someplace that cares about that, because that's important to me too.
That's cool. That just reminds me of Tide Pods. We had some discussion last year about Tide Pods and how, like, you shouldn't have to tell people not to eat them.
Oh, don't eat it. Just don't eat it.
Yeah.
No.
But some, like, so Teeneke made a soap that is neon pink, like it and fluffy.
Wait, here it is.
Oh yeah.
There it is.
But
That's
she
the whip
just
soap.
hands me a bottle like this, and I was like, what's this? She's like, it's soap. Don't eat it. I was like, okay. But it's beautiful and fluffy looking and does not look like soap, but does feel like soap. Very interesting.
Oh my gosh. You know, the funny part about the whip soap that I made, which, you know, the base for all of, we have a full rainbow. So here's the base again. And it's mostly glycerin and sorbitol, which are two very sweet tasting ingredients. So on initial taste, the soap is sweet, but definitely you get that soapy surfactant. Yeah.
Collins.
Oh, the whip soap, yeah, shaving cream. Actually, this whip soap base was meant for people to be able to customize into things like a shaving cream. So if you wanted to add some ingredients or, you know, an extract or do something fun with the whip soap to make it a shaving cream, you certainly could. Yeah.
Colin asked, do you think it would be possible to make an edible soap?
Yes, I do actually. I'm using a new surfactant that's organic. It's called Chelijah, which is also known as soap bark or soap nuts. I don't necessarily think eating surfactants is a good idea, but I guess if you're going to, you should go with something that is naturally a surfactant.
Can we pause though? We might not all know what a surfactant is.
Oh, okay, sure. So a surfactant, in simple terms, is something that affects the surface tension of water, so that things like soap can happen and lotions can happen. I don't know if you want to go into more of an explanation.
No, that's pretty good. But basically, it's necessary for soap to work.
Yes. Yeah. You have to reduce the surface tension of the water. So that's what a surfactant does, very simply.
And Bella asked, glycerin seems to be in a lot of things. What does it do exactly?
Oh, sure. Glycerin is a fabulous humectant. So a humectant is something that draws moisture in. So glycerin is in a lot of products because, one, it's inexpensive, it's easy to make, and two, it works very well as a humectant. So if you have dry skin, glycerin is probably something that you should look for in a product.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Jonathan came late, so I'm expecting him to produce a question momentarily.
Okay.
But we'll see. Any other questions? Remember, guys, you can ask. Yeah, you can ask questions like about her.
Oh, yeah.
Like doing this. You know, what's your favorite thing you've ever made? What's this? Whatever, right? It doesn't have to be like a detailed science question.
I so love doing this. It is my passion, and I didn't even know it was my passion until I started, and then I absolutely can't stop. It's art, it's science, it's everything I love. So absolutely, I absolutely love it. I love coming to work. I spend a lot of time here.
Yeah. Type a 1 in the chat if you knew before today that this was a career. Oh, a few people. Okay. Oh. I didn't.
Oh.
Until I met Teeneke and I said, wait, you do that as your job? What? Oh, yeah, I probably did mention. Well, in the quick write. Okay, fine. So before yesterday, did you know about it? I like how Willa just put it down. It's like, nope. Let's see. We have 2 questions. One is, do you have any fun stories about making your natural hair and skincare stuff? She probably has like 1,000 fun stories. I'm guessing.
I don't know if any of them are school appropriate. No,
Oh.
I don't know what that means. I have no idea. I think what I do is fun. I mean, I don't know. I have a lot of fun with my lab mates. Like we laugh a lot. We enjoy our jobs. We get to talk while we're doing. I mean, it's fun all the way around. I have some funny stories about some epic fails, or as my son calls them, failments. Yeah, I've definitely, the hard part about the job is that you have to be willing and able to accept that what you're doing may fail. It may fail 10 times before you get it right. So you just have to keep going back to the drawing board. And sometimes that can get frustrating, but mostly it's really fun.
Yeah, I know some of us despise math for that exact reason, right? That sometimes you have to keep trying multiple ways to do something. But that's what I like about math personally. But yeah, I could see that being frustrating. Jonathan kind of missed part of this. So his question was slightly answered already, but he says, are your products natural? Yes, they are. And if they are, how are they made natural?
Well, we use natural ingredients. So you start with good ingredients and you end up with good products. So our products are definitely not the cheapest out there. We are a full transparency, full disclosure company. So we will tell you every single ingredient in your product, even though it's not necessarily required, we will tell you. So yeah, I can talk more about that. The Honest Company recently got in trouble because they didn't know an ingredient was in their product. And we can talk about that if you want. But
yeah, I would.
That was a great question.
Can you make
no, I cannot make soap out of a piece of celery. However, I can add celery powder to soap if you'd like.
Celery soap. It's the new trend. Let's start it right here. What are the best ingredients for your skin? That's a great question.
Gosh, it really all depends on what you're looking for in your skincare. If your skin, let's say, if your skin is inflamed, or you are experiencing breakouts, or your skin is just, you're getting like little blemishes on your face, an ingredient that I really like is salicylic acid, which comes from, it's basically the same as aspirin. It's very mild on your skin. It's a beta hydroxy acid, which I'll let you guys look that up later. It's gentler on your skin than the alpha hydroxy acids, and it helps clear up those blemishes. So, it depends on what condition your skin is in. For my age, I personally love hyaluronic acid, which is another humectant. It's even more powerful than glycerin, and it does amazing things for aging skin. Vitamin A is a great ingredient for aging skin. For you guys, I would stick with like detoxifying ingredients like activated charcoal, making sure that you're using gentle cleansers on your face. And actually the most important thing for skincare is the pH. You have to protect the acid mantle of your skin and make sure that it's healthy. And the best way to do that is to use products with the same pH as your skin. So I hope that answers that. I know I threw a lot at you just then, but
yeah, maybe I'll write those words out for people who are interested in knowing about them, in case they can't spell hyaluronic acid or whatever it was. Yeah, because I know some people are like, let's see. Oh, how do you find the pH in your skin, or like what is the pH of your skin? What should it be?
Sure. So natural pH of skin sits somewhere between 4.5 and 5.5. So slightly acidic, which is where you want most skin products to be. The best thing you can do for yourself is go buy some pH strips, or go get some pH strips and test the products that you're using and make sure that they're pH balanced for your skin. It's really easy to do. The pH strips kind of explain it. They just have a nice color coding. I guess I could do an example if you guys wanted. Do you guys do pH? I don't know.
Yeah, we do pH, but we could always use an example because sure. We do the pH of like water.
I do.
I like how Willa said charcoal face masks hurt. Yeah.
Oh, no, those glue masks are not, that is Don't do that. Don't put glue on your face. That's a bad idea.
Wait, there's glue masks?
Yeah, they mix charcoal and glue them to their face, and basically you're ripping off like just, I can't tell you how damaging that is for your skin. Don't ever do that. A charcoal cream mask is probably a better option. I agree with you. Those charcoal masks, just don't do that. Yeah, some of them even, I mean, they'll sell you anything that you want to buy. It's up to you to make sure that it's good for you, pretty much.
Catherine says, would you say that all hair textures and types can benefit from your natural shampoo?
Yes, I think natural shampoo can address most hair issues. I think that you have to look at the ingredients based on your type of hair. Like if you have type 3A curls or 3C or 4C curls, probably you're going to want a shampoo with a lower pH that is designed for your type of hair. Generally, as a general rule, low pH shampoos and conditioners will give you smoother hair. If you have really thin hair, or if you have hair that kind of lays flat on your head, you may want a shampoo or conditioner with a higher pH, because what that does is it increases the static charge and raises the scales on your hair, and it gives it more volume. So you kind of have to, yeah, you kind of have to look at what you want from your hair and maybe do a little research. Actually, I mean, we live in a great time where all this information is on the internet that you can look up and find, and natural solutions are very viable, and they're fabulous. And you know, even though the chemical, you know, the more synthetic chemical products are more consistent, it doesn't mean they're necessarily better.
Wow, I always thought that volumizing shampoo was just like a pretend marketing ploy. I never knew that it was actually based on a real science thing.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Let's see, we got a few other things said here. Brendan just says when his hair gets long, he cuts it off so that he doesn't get oil on his face. Yeah, well, actually, Teeneke taught me, guys, that you can put oil on your face to get rid of oil.
Yes. Yes, if you think about this, this is great. You guys are learning this already. If you think about chemistry, like dissolves like. So if you have an oil on your face, if your face is very oily, using an oil to clean your face is actually really smart. It will help remove impurities without stripping your skin. So oil cleansers, I'm a big fan.
Yeah, but it seems scary at first because you're like, my face has oil. I don't want to put more. Right, but it actually helps take it off. Yeah, it's yeah, science is amazing. Let's see. Don't do the gelatin masks either. Okay. Are peel-off masks good when they're not glue?
Yeah, yeah, there's some great peel-off masks on the market. Just yeah, as long as they're not glue. You can't make a natural peel-off mask, so I don't really make those. I do like them. I always have liked them. I used to terrify my little sisters with them, pretending I was peeling my skin off. It was great. But I think they're fabulous. I think they're really nice. I like peel-off masks.
Georgia says, isn't oily skin still dry skin that overproduces oil in order to make it less dry?
So that's a great question, and I'm so glad you asked that. So let's first back up a little bit. There are two misconceptions. Oily skin and dry skin are two different things. So dry skin needs moisturization. It needs things like glycerin and hyaluronic acid to pull moisture into the skin. And dry skin is characterized by, you can see it on your hands sometimes if you wash your hands a lot, where it's kind of looking cracked and looks like, it kind of looks like the skin of a fruit that's dehydrated. So that's how you can kind of identify if your skin is dry. Oily skin is characterized, you can still have dry skin and have it be oily. Your body may be trying to repair your skin, so it thinks it's in damage, so its only way of repairing is to release sebum and try to repair itself. What I found is most people with oily skin actually, even though it's counterintuitive, you want to add oils to your skin. It's needing nutrients. And if you think about it that way, like dry skin needs moisturization, oily skin needs nutrients. And a lot of oils, a lot of natural oils contain a lot of great nutrients. I'm working with a new oil that I haven't worked with before. It's called peroxy oil, and it's full of behenic acid, which is fabulous for skin. If you look at different oils, and the different absorption rates, you can find a good oil for your skin that feels comfortable for you. But I think oil is fabulous on almost everybody's skin. I use oil as in the morning, first thing, and before I go to bed. Really, most of your skincare should be before you go to bed. It's when you're sleeping that your skin does its repairing and all of its good work. So make sure when you go to sleep, your skin is nice and clean and moisturized and full of nutrients.
I love that people are just asking, like, this is the time to ask any skincare question you have, guys. She knows everything. Well,
well, I don't know about that. If I don't know, I'll tell you.
99% of things. Bella says, do spot treatments that contain things like benzoyl peroxide do more harm than good?
No, I don't think so. As long as they're used as spot treatments. If it's a recurring problem, if you keep having the same problem over and over again, then you may want to look at, your entire skincare regime. And I would say, honestly, the best way to take care of your skin is to take care of your nutrition. Drink a lot of water, eat good food. Your skin is your first indicator of your health, and that's just reality. You can look at people and tell if they're healthy, and you're judging that mostly based on how their skin looks. So, if you take care of yourself and eat good food, your skin will take care of it itself.
Georgia says, I heard that tea tree oil is really good for acne. Is that true?
Sure. Yeah, tea tree oil is great. It's an essential oil, which means it's extracted through a distillation process. And it's incredibly concentrated. Essential oils are just, they're amazing and they do wonderful things. Make sure if you're using essential oils that you're always diluting it with another oil. So you can dilute it with any oil that you find almost any oil you find in your kitchen, as long as it's a good oil, like olive oil or sunflower seed oil even. So dilute that essential oil with another oil before you apply it to your skin.
Jonathan says, how do you know what type of hair you have besides like curly and straight? I guess when you were saying like C3 curls or something like that.
Right.
What does that
mean? So mostly that's for African American or African hair is the curl definition. If you go to a salon, they'll be able to tell you what type of hair you have.
Okay.
They can tell you certainly. And they can tell you what your hair may or may not need, certainly better than I could. I might tell you how to fix your problem, but I'm not great at identifying what type of hair is what.
Yeah, Catherine says there's a whole chart. Yeah, again, the internet is your friend. Is it bad to pop pimples on your face? Do you have to wait for it to pop naturally?
Oh, that's a great question. Boy, that's a hard one, isn't it?
It's so hard.
I am the same way. I just don't want to see it on my face.
Exactly.
Yes, it's terrible to do that. And the reason is that when you are popping that pimple, what's happening is, yes, some is coming out of the top that you can see and it's very gratifying. But the worst part of that is that you're pushing that bacteria. Some of it's going deeper into your skin. So your skin has layers, right? So what you're doing when you pop a pimple is pushing that bacteria and that irritation in your skin deeper into a different layer of skin, possibly causing an even bigger sore to appear. So even though that may not happen all the time, you can scar your skin by popping pimples. You can cause an even worse outbreak by doing that. The best option is to spot treat the pimples. And I know that it's sometimes just impossibly hard to wait, but it's really better in the long run.
Yeah, plus just popping stuff. I love popping stuff. It's so
my gosh, right? Yeah.
Bubble wrap, anything that pops, I'm interested.
Yeah, right. Yeah, my daughter watches those Dr. Pimple Popper videos.
Oh, yeah. So satisfying. You're just like, yes.
So satisfying. Yes.
But terrible for your skin. Do you have any products to recommend for wavy, curly hair?
Ooh, yes. Yes. That is my favorite to formulate for. Actually, I just completed testing for a curl enhancing conditioner that we will be selling on our website very soon, and it's absolutely fabulous. Jamie has been one of my test subjects for this conditioner, and I don't know when it's going to go on sale, but it will soon. I think as far as our customers go, when they come to us and ask us to make conditioner for curly or wavy hair, 9 times out of 10, they ask us to make something similar to Diva Curls. So if you want to go buy something right now today, Diva Curls seems to be the standard for wavy and curly hair. So.
That's what she uses already.
There you go.
Yeah, Catherine agrees. We've got a question about why you even get pimples in the first place. We've got people being grossed out by the, the pop-in. I also want to ask you, before we talk more about the pimple popping, how long does it take? Like when you make a new product, how much testing and how much time do you have to do to prove that it's going to work and that it's stable, right? Because maybe some of us don't know this, but when you create a formula for something, right, let's say you leave it out for a week and all of a sudden it turns a different color and doesn't work anymore, right? Well, somebody's going to be pissed off if they paid money for that. So like, absolutely, what's a process like in terms of length of time? Then we'll go back to the pimple skin question.
Sure. Okay. So when we make a product, when I make a formula and I go into the lab, if I like the formula, I will first centrifuge it. So once it passes that test, then I do over 24 to 48.
Centrifuge, guys, means that you spin it around really, 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 really fast to see if it like separates, right? Or does it stay? So it kind of mimics like if you shake stuff or you're moving it around, you don't want it to become layers.
Yeah, exactly. So if it stays together in the centrifuge, then I do a heat freeze thaw test, or we do. I say I do, but yes, I do it. It's basically we put it in the incubator for 4 to 8 hours at 40 degrees Celsius. And
which is hot.
Yeah, which is very hot. It's about 110 degrees, I think. Anyways, when we put it in the incubator, we check to see if there's any separation with heat. Obviously, our products go around the world and some places are really hot. So we want to make sure it's going to stand up to the temperatures wherever the product is going. So once I take it out of the incubator and I inspect it and see and record my observations, then I freeze it. And I freeze it for another 4 to 8 hours because I want to see once it thaws, is it going to hold up? So we call that stress testing. Once it finishes stress testing, if I'm using a new preservative or a preservative that I'm not sure is going to work with the particular ingredients that I've selected, then I do a microbial assay, which is basically smearing the product on 2 sides of a slide, and I leave it in a different incubator at a little bit lower temp and I leave it there for 5 days. And if I check the slide and there's no results on the slide, meaning it looks the same as when I put it in, then I know that the preservative is holding up.
So the preservative will keep bacteria from growing, right? Is that what it does?
Yes. Bacteria, mold, yeast, all of the flesh-eating virus kind of nastiness that you definitely don't want in your skincare. Preservatives are absolutely critical. You have to have a preserved product. You can't sell something that's not safe. So that's one of our biggest testing areas, is to make sure the preservative is holding up. And if for some reason I think over time this product may change its properties, I'll recommend to the customer that they submit it to a third-party lab for challenge testing, which is basically they really stress test it and make sure the preservative's working, and then they'll simulate a shelf life test to determine how long will this product sit on a shelf and still be okay. The only real way to know, of course, is time, but that's kind of the whole process. So before it leaves the building, we do our testing, and then if we think further testing is important, then we'll recommend more testing.
Okay, interesting. Sorry, that was my own personal interest. Let's see. We've got, Brendan says, can you also use a centrifuge to mix?
No.
Centrifuges
just separate. Yeah.
We want to know about why you get pimples. Then our final question is going to be recommendations for sensitive skin. Is Cetaphil good? Actually, Abby's question's good. Abby's is going to be the last question. Okay.
Okay. So what? So I'm answering Cetaphil. Is that yes?
Yeah. Let's start with the Cetaphil question.
Okay.
Is that good for sensitive skin?
Yeah. If it works for you, then it's good. I mean, yeah. I think Cetaphil is a nice product. It's fine. Honestly, like I very much prefer natural and organic formulations, but Cetaphil is fine. If it's working for you and you like it, then by all means use it. Most of the stuff that you put on your skin, by the way, cannot penetrate the skin barrier. You'll read a lot online. I mean, the internet is full of good and bad information, and you'll read a lot about, oh, don't put that on your skin. Most things that you put on your skin, the molecules are just too big to penetrate. So when you wash it off, it's gone. And especially if you're using like something that's meant to rinse off immediately, it's very unlikely that you're going to experience anything from putting things on your skin other than maybe slight irritation. So
okay, that's good to know.
Use it. Yeah.
This will be the last question because I know we've taken quite a bit of your time here. Sorry, Vitali, we're gonna have to keep the pimple question for the future. When you make a product, is it someone else's idea or is it your idea? Or do they order it, or how does that work? Do they say, I want?
That's a great question. So that all depends on the customer. So sometimes they want us to make something similar to what they already like. For instance, I'm making a shower oil that's similar to L'Occitane's shower oil. So I will get a sample of L'Occitane shower oil and I will look at their ingredient deck and I will try to what we call reverse formulate. So create it again, just using what I know about the formulation based on the ingredient deck. Sometimes customers will come to us with their own idea and say, please make this thing for me. I have this great idea and I think I want to use these ingredients and can you make this? So they'll come with a certain list of ingredients that they want in their product and they want us to make the product for them. And then sometimes they just say, I just want to steer and make it great. And that's my favorite, of course, because then I can do whatever I want.
Yeah, if any of you guys work in, I know a lot of you guys have jobs or you're soon to have jobs, right? If you do any kind of customer service, you know that exact experience, right? When you have the customer who's like, well, I want this and this and this and this and this, and they won't budge versus the one who's like, well, I'm fine with whatever. It's fine. I like everything. Yeah. I
do get to make anything I want for our YouTube channel. So sometimes customers will ask me on YouTube. As a matter of fact, it's funny that the gelatin mask was brought up because a customer did ask me on YouTube to make one. And I said I would look into it, and hearing that it's painful is not making me excited about making that. So maybe I won't be doing that. But for the YouTube videos, I get to pretty much do whatever I want. So whatever I'm in the mood to make.
That's cool. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming with us, I guess, to us, I don't know, to our virtual world. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, this was fun.
I hope that you guys got to ask all the questions you wanted to ask. I know her job is oddly specific, so if you don't use skincare, which I know is probably some of you, or you don't care about science, you might have been a little like, but hopefully you're getting some other helpful information out of this. Otherwise, we are going to end the session here. There is a reflection for you guys to fill out based on your experience today. And thank you so much, Teeneke, for coming.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, guys. This was fun.
That was short. It was 40 minutes. What do you mean short?
I could do this all day, but I know we got to go. I got to get back to work.
She has to do her actual job now. Okay.
I do. Bye, guys.
All right. Bye. Thank you. Bye, everybody.